No, I'm not sponsored. Oh shit. No.
Hey, what's up? So, last week I did a video going over every single Spider-Man suit that I had. I posted a little video on TikTok and a bigger one on YouTube. Sadly enough, the one on YouTube did a lot better. I don't know what's going on with TikTok, but it's like really tanking a lot of my views and it's making me upset. Instagram too. That's not the point. Stay focused. I need a hat. I don't know why, but I want my Grogu hat on. Good shit. Anyway, checking my mic is on. I am so unprofessional at what I do. Anyway, I posted that video and I got a comment saying that you wanted a breakdown of the Spider-Punk suit. And given that that's one of the ones I'm most proud of and the one I put the most amount of custom work into, I figured that's the perfect one to do a breakdown on. Now, I've done a breakdown on my Miles Morales suit before, but that was when I was really new to YouTube and had no clue what I was doing and was using a really crappy camera. I'm using my phone now because it's better, but that's still not a good option. I don't know why I randomly give you those pieces of information. People don't need to know that. Anyway, like I was saying, I've done a breakdown on the Miles Morales suit. I'm probably going to redo that one. But if this does well and you guys like these cosplay breakdowns, let me know. And I'll go over some older cosplays, like my Scout Trooper, my Ghost cosplay, Daft Punk. I'll go over all those stuff and do cosplay breakdowns on all of those because that'd be really fun to do. But this video is Spider-Punk. So let's look into that Spider-Punk cosplay and see every piece that went into making it. And I'll link everything down below to show you how you can make your very own. Assuming I can find everything because I made it like 4 years ago. Let's go. Okay, well, as we can see, I have everything laid out on my desk. I'm going to pull it all off and do it one at a time, but I just wanted to throw everything on the desk to see what I had and go through it all. So, I'm going to break it down probably from the inside out and bottom up, just to show you every piece involved in making this suit. Okay, so the first piece, and probably the most important, is the suit itself. Now, this actually proved to be the biggest challenge of the entire build. I could pretty much custom make everything I needed in this build, or I found a vendor online who had the piece I needed, except for this suit. This suit is not a very common suit design. It's not really easy to find. On all the print shops I went to, Print Costume, which when I ordered the suit, it was known as Zentai Zone. So Zentai Zone, RPC, Hero Stein, none of them had a Spider-Punk design at that time. I don't know if they have any now, but at the time of ordering this suit, they didn't have any. So what I had to do is, if you remember back to the video where I guided you on how to order your own Spider-Man suit, I said that there was a custom suit option. This is where I had to use that custom suit option. What I had to do is I had to find a separate vendor who only designed the suit. And I'll put a picture of a suit design or a suit template up on the screen now so you can see what it is. I had to find that pattern and purchase it off of a studio. I then had to upload that pattern into the print shop so they knew what to do and then they could print it onto their fabric. Ordering the suit, I got just basic options. I went over the options I got for the suit in that previous video, but I'll go over them now quick. I got a vertical zipper on the back that goes up through to the neck. I got zippers at the gloves, and I got just normal feet, no shoes on them because the chucks slide over the feet. Something I've always found interesting about this suit is there's no spider logo on the front, and it looks very, very plain if you wear this without the vest. So it really is a whole ensemble. You gotta wear the whole thing together. In terms of quality, I don't know if this is just because I haven't worn this suit very often or very much compared to my other suits, but it is very nice. This is probably one of the nicer suits I own. It does the couple tests, you know, it's good fabric, it holds that color, it's strong. It's not that super ultra lycra fabric, but it's good enough. It has a nice deep blue on that abdomen section. It's beautiful. The blue and red contrast very nicely. I really do love this suit design. As we all know, this is only one piece of it, so let's keep going. Along with the suit came this mask. So let me get it out of the shell, and I have a story about this shell. As you can see, it's kind of falling apart. Along with the suit came this mask. It's the exact same color as the suit, same fabric, same everything. It has the open eye holes, just like I prefer, and then it has the neck zipper that goes up vertically. Nothing special about that, just except the hex pattern. If you can see that hex pattern, it follows the same hex pattern as the suit design. That I really like. Something I'm not too fond of though is the webbing. The webbing here is like very bold as compared to like my Amazing Spider-Man mask where it's very thin. I prefer that thin webbing over this bold line, but definitely not enough to make me not wear the suit. So the face shell. This is probably the nicest and most expensive face shell that I own. However, it is my least favorite. And no disrespect to the maker of this shell because he makes phenomenal quality work and his stuff is always good. It's just not to my preference. Number one, it is very heavy. It is heavier than all of my other shells. It is a different material. It's not 3D printed, or if it is cast over with resin or something, but it is a lot heavier. Also, the reason it's heavier is because it involves magnets on the top. The inside has this very nice foam, done very well on the inside, keeps it very snug. I do notice it pinches my nose a little bit, so I'll have to be trimmed just a tad. It has a nice included strap. None of this I had to do myself. The guy did it all himself. So like I said, I'll leave the vendor down below. Like I said, phenomenal work by this creator. It's just this one in particular is not to my personal preference. But it doesn't mean the shell isn't great. It's very good. I'll leave him linked down below if you want to check him out. He makes very good stuff, and I'll probably pick up another Spider-Verse shell from him later down the line. The lenses are where we get a little tricky. So, like I said, this is the most expensive shell I own, so they are the nicest lenses. They're not 3D printed. They're nice, a good, I think they're resin. A very nice texture. However, they are very fragile. And what happened here is I lent this shell to a buddy, and he dropped the eye on concrete floor, which didn't work too well for us because obviously it snapped, and then in turn he dropped this one as well. And then just wear and tear of trying to use them after I have dropped them and shattered them. It was not a fun time. But I think it still fits the punk aesthetic of having a cracked lens. Even though I would prefer for the lenses not to be cracked, there's not much I can do about it now. I can try gluing them back together. I haven't really tried that. I've just taped them. But that's why the lenses are so messed up. It's not the fault of the vendor. The lenses came fine. It was just my fault for dropping them, or my friend's fault for dropping them. But they work. I just can't really see out of this one because there's super glue. Now, obviously, like I said, the suit itself doesn't have soles or kung fu shoes on the inside, and the reason for that was because I needed them to fit inside of these chucks. Now, I initially wore these Converse for my first ever homemade Spider-Man suit, and I'll throw a picture of that up on screen too. You guys know about that, you've seen that before. And I initially wore them for that, and they were all worn and torn. They're battered, they're not new, they're nice, weathered, worn in. And in the PS4 Spider-Man game, which is where I designed and based this suit off of, he wears the chucks. The only difference is the bottom of the chucks have the Spider-Man logo ingrained on them. Mine unfortunately don't. It's very hard to find shoes that have that, and I did not care enough to put it on the bottom of a shoe because I would be stepping on it. So it doesn't really matter. Nothing really special about it, you know? I didn't go above and beyond weathering these. These were just from normal wear and tear, just going around skateboarding with them or going on other shoots with them. Now currently these are a size 12. I have since grown into a size 13, so these probably would not fit me very comfortably for an entire photo shoot, but I would definitely be willing to squeeze my foot into it if it meant I can get some good photos with it. So, I'm not throwing these out. They work perfectly fine. No need to get new ones. And plus, if I got new ones, I'd have to wear them in. So, the old chucks work just the best. Now, here's where we start getting into the fun part. And this is where I had to do the most work. Starting off, we have the pieces that I was able to find online. The punk rock stud belt, which is just a standard leather belt. Really cheap off Amazon with fake plastic studs in it that go all the way around. What I do is I'll just put the belt on. Can't get that nice. Put the belt on like normal and then twist it around so this is in front and then this hides behind the vest. I also ordered a set of these bracelets. So I got 3 of them, one wide one with 3 gems, a middle one with 2 gems, and one with 1 gem. Normally what I'll do is I'll put the wide one on one wrist and then I'll scatter the other 2 on another wrist like that. These go in pair with the belt. They're different shapes of sequins, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need to get super accurate with it. Like I said, there was a reference I was following, but I was being sort of lenient on what exactly I was going for. Quick interruption. No, I'm not sponsored. Oh shit. No, I'm not sponsored at all. I just like G Fuel. I'm just saying, quick interruption. Make sure to follow all my socials. These ones right there, those ones right there. Make sure to follow all of them because, yeah, more content on all of those. Back to the video. Oh wait, and subscribe to this channel. How do I always leave that part out? And then the piece de resistance, the vest. So, to make this vest, the process of me making this vest was probably the most fun I've had on something in a while. I ordered a leather jacket. Not a leather, that's not leather, nice, that's definitely leather. I ordered a denim jacket, and I ordered it a size larger than me, and I was a lot smaller back then, so it actually fits me now pretty well. I then cut the sleeves off and used a series of sandpaper, different knives and scissors, and a lighter to singe the end to make it look more worn and torn, battered, and very unpredictable. I then went around the entire vest these rips were already in the vest, so I didn't have to worry about that. I then went around with some black paint, did a little bit of weathering around the entire thing to make it look a little bit more worn in. Like I said, the vest was a little bit big on me back then, so I took punches and I punched the vest together on this side here to itself on the inside, on both sides, to make it fit tighter around my arms so it didn't look like I was wearing a cape. Since, like in the design, this doesn't have any pants on the suit, you're just wearing the suit itself, and if you put this on over that with no pants and you're just wearing the Lycra suit, it looks a little lopsided, it looks a little weird. So I then ordered a bunch of rock pins and I put my favorite pins on. So I chose a couple that I liked just the pure design of, so like these basic ones, Dickfest, nice. Just these basic ones that would be recognizable from far away. But then I slipped in a couple that I really liked. So we got Pink Floyd, obviously. Nirvana's there. David Bowie over here. And then the man himself, Freddie Mercury, right there. I have a bunch more of these pins, but I chose to be very light on the pins and do them very sporadically. Not really making them in any sort of pattern, but making them just kind of flow, you know, just kind of go on where I thought they looked best. And this would be a process of just putting the pin on, seeing where it looks, seeing how you like it, and moving it around. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of these pins that I can switch out and switch in, but in terms of the color, I chose these ones because they're more monochromatic and they fit very nicely. And then on the back, this logo design, I painted on myself. So I sketched it out with pencil and then did a quick airbrush, you can see down there, around that pencil to give it that fade. Then took acrylic paint, taped it off, painted the entire thing black, then took white acrylic paint and lined the entire thing with a nice fine tip brush around the whole thing to give it that nice look so it really popped out. I then painted the white paint on top of it for the logo on the back, FNSM, which if you didn't know, it stands for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I didn't know that till I looked it up years ago and now it's ingrained in my head. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, X. I really like that design. This might be my favorite logo I have in all my Spider-Man suits because it's so unique. And then here comes the hardest part. And the more I look at this, the more I realize it needs to be redone. So, every one of these little spikes, every single one of them, they didn't come like that. I ordered them separately and I had to hand punch and screw every single one in. So that involved a process of finding where I wanted them, and you can see the little marker dots, leaving the marker dots and punching them through, and then going back around to the other side and screwing them in. In the process of taking the suit out, wearing it, putting it back in, as you can see, I've lost a good amount of those spikes. They're all over the place, where there's just little missing spikes that I'll have to go back in and redo. But overall, from a distance, you can't even tell. You can tell there's spikes there, and that's what's important. But look, like some of them, they're missing the spike cap. Like these ones, they're missing the spike cap, and I have no clue where they are. So I'll either have to reorder them and redo them, or just leave it. I might just leave it, because I kind of like the inconsistency. Now, the last piece are the spikes themselves. I choose to only use 3, and I'll show you why. The first one goes on there, second one there, third one there, and the fourth one flaps out here and goes around your head and snaps on there. I've never liked that one. I don't know why. I felt it always moved around. That was the one that got knocked off the most. So I fold this in and I only use 3 because there really isn't a problem with only having 3, unless you're super anal about being very accurate, in which case you could do 4. The spikes came with this shell itself, and like I said, if I couldn't make the piece myself, I had to order it, which is why I went with this vendor, because he was the only guy who made a Spider-Punk shell with the magnets. Initially, what I had planned on doing was printing a shell like this and putting the magnets in myself, but I happened to come across this guy, found his stuff, and I loved his shell, so I bought it, went with it, it works. But in total, that's pretty much every piece of the Spider-Punk suit design itself. It's actually a lot more simple than you think it might be. It's just a lot of custom work you would have to do yourself, because you can't just find these pieces. You can't just find a vest like this. You can find these, and you can find the belt, and you can find the shoes and the shell, but you can't just find the suit, you can't just find the vest. You have to actually make those things. But I would love to see more people do Spider-Punk. I think it's really, really cool. It's a great suit design, and I definitely do plan on taking this out for a photo shoot at least once. But the one piece I don't have, and the one piece I didn't mention, is the guitar. Now, I do have an old Guitar Hero guitar, which I used for a lot of TikToks back years ago when I used to do Spider-Punk TikToks. So if you remember those, you're a straight legend and a homie. But the last piece I would need to make this fully like the game would be that guitar, which I would either have to get a real guitar and paint on a spider logo, which would be a terrible idea, or do the more likely thing and make the guitar out of like Sintra or foam or wood or something like that. I would make the guitar. That's probably not going to happen at the moment because I have a few other cosplays that I'm focusing on at the moment. So unfortunately, I don't have the guitar and I'm not making it yet. But if I ever do, or when I do, you can expect a video on the process of that. So that was the entire Spider-Punk suit, broken down every single piece. Like I said, if I can find links to all these pieces, I will of course leave a link list down below so that you can make your own Spider-Punk suit just like this if you want. Feel free to get creative, switch out the pins, maybe add some different designs or paint strokes, whatever you want to do, you know, make it your own, make it creative. I'm going to leave you with a quick video of me putting the suit on that I used from the last video. You've seen it before, but I'll switch it up just a little bit, just so you can see what it looks like, you know, in full. Now that you've seen that, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have a recommendation or a request for a cosplay you want me to break down just like this video, again, if this video does well and you guys like it, awesome, then I'll do another one. But leave that down below and let me see which cosplays you want to go over, and I'll do that. But until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Peace!